The Enfinity Payroll Module is designed by considering the complete labor law and regulations for the MENA region, and it is highly configurable. In simple terms, the customer is not being forced to comply with payroll standards and regulations. On the other hand, the client is free to customize the system to meet their needs. Every module has a dashboard. The dashboard can provide a variety of analytical information about the module. These are some of the dashboards for payroll. Yes, you can drill down. So anywhere you want to see more details, you can drill down to the final level. There are reports based on the period designation, employment type, plus there are multiple layouts. You can see here multiple views of the same dashboard. You can also check the provisions for leave, indemnity, etc. Enfinity Payroll is highly controlled because everything is done through transactions. These are some of the transactions that help in managing the payroll of the system. Anything related to payroll cannot be modified directly, and it must be logged in through transactions. Let us see how to work with transactions. All of the transactions work in a standard way. Example, variable salary, whose purpose is to provide anything more or less for an employee, temporary for a particular month. Every transaction has a list. You can create a new transaction. Now all Enfinity transaction types have similar functionality, where you can bulk import or save as a new transaction. If you want to create a new transaction for one particular employee, you can select the employee and enter the salary components. Let's say you want to give a housing allowance to the employee. You can type here, and you can enter the amount here. In the same way, if you compute your overtime manually, you may enter the overtime, and the system will figure out the amount depending on the method of computation. All the transactions will have a standard built-in printout. The print layout can be printed through the system and can also be attached to the same transaction. It can also go through an approval workflow. Plus, we are providing a timeline that will give you a complete, detailed history of the logs, which includes changes and their timestamp. Thus, this is the functionality available throughout all the transaction types. Example, leave transaction occurs when an employee is going on leave and it is being managed by the payroll officer. The leave can be created manually or automatically from the leave request. Thus, through self-service module, when an employee is applying for leave, they will submit a request, which will go through the workflow process. Once it is finally approved, it will automatically create the leave transaction. But in case you want to create it manually, it can be done directly through the screen here. Choose what type of leave the employee is applying for. From which date to which date, the system automatically provides you with the leave balance days. How many days were applied? How many weekdays in between and how many total days will the employees go on leave? Plus, we have an option here, Pay with Payroll and Pay Now, and other options are also available, which are generally followed in the region here. Choose any option. When you want to pay the work days and leave salary along with the payroll, you choose Pay with Payroll, or when you want to pay cash or check, you can choose Pay Now, and the system will do all the calculations. All the calculations are automatically handled by the system. Other than that, there are other transactions like promotions of employees, end of service, etc. End of service will do all the calculations automatically through the system. You just need to enter the details accurately. Example, when a person is leaving the company. Choose the reason, and accordingly, Enfinity will calculate the leave, indemnity, and air ticket that must be paid to the employee. The system will calculate all the information, and you can save, print, approve, and get all the calculations done accurately. The payroll officer is mainly involved in the creation of all such transactions on day-to-day basis. The same activity can also be done using the pay cycle. Pay cycle is the main console for the payroll officer, where you can see the current February month as the draft. From this page, I can view the specifics and see employee by employee salary data. Additionally, I can make a transaction from this same location, thus saving time going through several menus. I can see the payslip directly from here. Plus, it will give you a proactive task that must be addressed before finalizing the payroll. According to the system, 3 transactions are awaiting action. The payroll officer can look at these transactions, and based on that, they can approve, reject, revise, or delete the transaction, so the payroll is submitted accurately. Once this is done, the payroll officer can also print the paysheet. We offer a very customizable paysheet that allows you to examine all of the payroll information for a given month on a single screen. When you look at the paysheet, there are various views available to analyze the data. This is one of the views where you can see the paysheet by fixed earnings for the particular month, deductions for a particular month, and the net amount for that month. You can customize the sheet as per your requirements by removing, adding and merging columns. You can also view your payroll for a particular month as cash salary, payroll net comparison, gross comparison, etc. After payroll is confirmed, it can be temporarily locked for management approval. We also have all the bank transfer advice, which can be generated directly through the system. The system will create the bank file when you select your bank, which you can then submit straight to the bank site. Besides this, we have a lot of reports. All reports related to leave, indemnity, loan calculation, penalty, promotion compliance, etc. can be seen in this section. We have analytical reports available for the payroll, and all the setup will come into the sections. Thank you.